Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. TechBilly83 here, coming to you from the train room. Alright, let's get right into it. So, we got some interesting developments here. What is going on with this? A whole bunch of stuff elevated above my work area. So there's my work area, and let's see what we got going on up here. Alright, so we're on the ladder. Huh, look at this. It looks like we have the beginnings of a yard. Yup. Well, let's have a look, shall we? So there is the grade that's coming up from, way over there. So you go around the second tier there, the shelf on the main table. You come around behind the factories, and then there's a switch that'll send you. Actually, it's the one part of the double crossover in the way in the back there behind the soap factory. And you come around the outside, and you start going up this steep grade, and then we got the switch out or the siding or switchback or whatever you want to call it for the iron ore mine over there, and then it continues up the hill, right on up, all the way around. Yeah, we got ourselves a, hang on here, trying to spin too fast. Got a Atlas curved turnout. And the outside is gonna kind of, I guess, continue to be the main line out around the yard. And then the inside here, it's a switch, and then we start getting into the yard feeders and the runaround. And we've got a little spur right there for helper power. So when the helpers come up the hill behind the train, they got a little pocket to dive into. And then on the other side of the yard there's another track that's going to go way down, all the way to the end, so that you kind of have a runaround on both sides. And then you're not fouling the main line, so to speak, for the most part. And then you got a bunch of switches here. And basically we just got some engine storage. And that kind of goes around and dead ends there. I thought about having the engine storage continue all the way through here, but I got to thinking about it. There wasn't enough clearance if large cars, long cars with overhang as they make the curve come through. So we got that. I'm going to end up with 6 tracks, I think, in total for actual yard track. So, because I got that one to the extreme right there, that's going to be basically a main line all the way down and around, and that's going to loop back to the third shelf over top the center area there, where we're going to have the alpine mountainous terrain. But keep in mind, this yard is going to be like 30 feet long, so there's that. There's only 6 tracks wide for actual car storage and train storage, but it'll be 30 feet long. And you can see along the wall there, I've got some brackets pre-staged for tonight's project. Because as you can see, all my cameras are in night mode, so it's kind of late at night. We are on day 2 of a 2-week special PTO operation, me and the Sprout. So we've been going hard on projects the last 2 days, getting caught up with stuff that we were unable to get to during summer, and stuff that has to happen before fall and definitely before winter. All right, so what else we got going on here? I added a piece of wall control right here, this panel, because that's going to have some brackets on it for when we add in the shelf that's going to interface with that section of track there. I already started kind of playing around with that, so I got a bracket here and here, and they're just going to go all the way down in between these bins. I'm going to kind of reorganize these bins so that when the module's not in there, I can still have the bins. But knowing me, the module's probably just going to stay. So I don't know how much we're going to do for scenery, because I'm going to try and fit the bins and the module together, see if I can get them to live side by side in some sort of symbiotic relationship. But we'll see. But basically, that panel there is going to be, there's going to be two 12-inch brackets on that to handle the far end of the curve that comes around, to prepare it to launch out the door and around for the other project down the road. So, what do we got going on here? Down on the floor here, you'll have to excuse the mess. You know, we're just in a constant state of flux, so, you know, it is what it is. But we've got the winch up and running here, and I've got some pieces of MDF that are cut and ready to go up here where these shelf brackets are. So that's what we're going to attempt to do here tonight. I got some threaded rod already cut and ready to go. Just need to find some washers and nuts. But we're going to try and lift these pieces up in here to extend the yard out. Now I know what you're thinking. At one point I did say it was supposed to be plexiglass so that you could see up through it. And that was the intention. That's still the intention. But until enough people like, share, and subscribe and crush the like button to where, you know, we start getting subsidized by this here channel, it's just going to have to be MDF, because we can't afford plexiglass. I did the math, and we can't afford plexiglass. It does not make sense to try and do this this yard with plexiglass. Although I'd love to, because I think it'd be really cool. But it is what it is. I got some of the trim pieces up there hanging out with all the bugs that got stuck to the ceiling one night when it got a little humid in here. That's what I use in the ends for kind of a guardrail, so to speak, and to sort of make it look nicer. You can see that on this yard, it's almost, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch of trim above the MDF. It's 3/4 inch MDF, I believe. See how much, we don't have as much height difference here. Let me get around this ladder so that we can look at the end here. So it's not as much here. It kind of still serves the purpose, but remember, I've got the home soaked and the, you know, the 3/4 inch PVC material that I'm using for the shelf. Up here, up in the yard, I don't see any point in putting home soaked up there. It's just extra money. And then with the height up here, you know, we're way up high to the point where if something does fall off, it's going to be total train death. Not like this wouldn't be, but, you know, I'd rather have the extra insurance of the guardrail just in case something goes crazy. So, let's see if we can get the iPad here set up in such a way that we can, you know, film this adventure. And I think we're going to have to start down here. So we're going to have to start at this end of the operation here. So let me see if I can set us up right here. In fact, maybe we'll use this fire station as a prop. Maybe. Oh, that's fine. There was literally a piece of rod under there. Oh yeah, real quick. So I picked up a couple more structures. Aim the thing straight, silly. So I found this like little wholesale market building. It's, you know, got overhead doors and the little man door there. So I thought that was kind of cool because it looks like a wholesale grocer that, you know, you would expect to see. Fits the role. So I'm gonna eventually, you know, give that the treatment. And then found this little thing, which got talking with the sprout, and I think the best outcome for this is to put this up high on like a rock ledge, and then extend this patio out, put a trellis over top of it for grapes, and we're gonna make this an Italian, I think she called it a trattoria or something like that. It's like a little cafe. So that's what's gonna happen with this. I saw that, and that was my first thought, was like, ah, that would make a really cool coffee shop. So that's what we're gonna do with that. All right, so we're gonna use our bottle of wood glue here because it's got a little bit more mass to it. Hopefully that does a good job of supporting the iPad. So, but I don't know. Let's see if we can get up higher. So we have to move. So actually, can we just use the threaded rod? Yeah, that will work. So you don't need, yeah. Actually, what I need is a piece of track, because I'm trying to use the track that's already attached to the table, and it's just not long enough to get under the iPad. There, that'll work. All right, so I gotta go find some nuts and washers. So you just guys, you hang tight and you just think happy train thoughts, and then I'll be right back, okay? And I'm also gonna get the winch where it needs to be. Okay. Now I just need some nuts and washers. Found the nuts. Where the hell are the washers? Alright, so this is where we go on a little adventure. Yeah. Washers. I saw them out the other day. And 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good enough. They're used. I have a package of brand new ones around here somewhere, but if you can't tell already, there's kind of a method to my madness, or I should say a madness to my method. You'll have that sometimes. So let's try and move some of this stuff out of the way. So we've got 1/4 nuts and some fender washers that are gonna help us out with the MDF. And we also need our drill. Where did that go? Ah, yes, there it is. So I pre-staged the drill with the 5/16 drill bit, because that's what we're gonna need to drill into the MDF for the threaded rod to go up through. So we're using quarter inch threaded rod, but we're using a 5/16 drill bit. I'm gonna take this extra pulley off of there real quick. We're using that when we lifted up the generator in the generator shed for that project. Check out those videos if you want to see the most ridiculous generator installation ever. Oh yeah, and like, share, and subscribe too. Do that. Please. Alright. That way we're not jamming that up in there. Okay. So I've got some straps on the MDF that I use when I'm climbing around in trees and stuff. So I found the right length that kind of goes around the MDF, because you know, we do have a height limitation here. So the goal is basically to use the winch to do the heavy lifting, and then that allows me to position a lot more carefully the MDF up on these shelf brackets. And these are just screwed into the wall with self-tapping screws, because remember, we're in a metal shipping container. So the entire thing is our canvas to paint with. And we have plenty of happy accidents while we're doing that. We're just not going to have any accidents right now because, you know, nice engines right here. We don't want to mess them up. All right, so we're going to get up on these brackets and then we're going to slide it in under this flex track and nothing bad is going to happen, okay? Trust me. Here we go. We're going to hook onto the MDF and then lift it up. Alright, get over here, hook. Now I'm pretty sure that these are balanced correctly because when I walked them in here from outside after I cut them with a circular saw, I kind of, you know, hand tested the balance with the strap as far as where that's positioned, so shouldn't be any surprises from that. Close enough. Alright, so that's about as high as we're going to get, I think. And now I just noticed that our cables are on the wrong side. So let's fix that. There we go. So I guess what I'm going to have to try and do here is just rotate this in place inside the strap. If that's possible. Maybe, hopefully. Yes, it just requires a little bit more strength than what I thought, and we'll try not to destroy stuff. Yeah, let's, what about if we go this way? Yeah. Not sketchy at all. Okay, that, you know, worked out for the most part. So I need to fish the controller up. Let some out. I took up a little bit more slack. So now let's start walking her down. And now you don't want to move. Come on. There you go. I see. So I guess when the trolley kind of gets sideways, it gets a little off kilter and it doesn't want to roll anymore. Alright, so the flex track is getting hung up, so that's no biggie. There. There. So, at this point, I kind of need to put a screw in there. And those screws were here earlier, but now they're not because I picked them up and moved them. But here's the drill for the screws. Do I have any screws left over here? Because it would be really helpful to have a screw real quick to just put into that bracket so that this kind of stays in place. Stay. See, this is why when civil engineers do big projects, they kind of plan everything out ahead of time. And you know, every move, every lift, every travel, so that you know, they don't get to a point and be like, oh crap, we needed like a whole nother thing here. All right, so we're using 3/4 inch self-tapping metal screws in the MDF because the nature of MDF is it's you know, compressed sawdust basically, but it acts like a really thick, dense material. So the self-drilling screw goes up in there and it kind of drills its way in and threads its way, and it anchors really good, believe it or not. So I've had really good luck putting metal self-drilling screws into this stuff. I'm a big fan of it. Alright, so I just need to find the sweet spot here. Okay, now, test of skill time. So I got to get the screw up in there. Trying to just, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I thought I was gonna like try to hold the drill, but I realized that wasn't gonna work without breaking my teeth off. Not to mention it would look really freaking weird. But I have a saying, if it's stupid but works, it isn't stupid. Usually. Okay. And I just noticed that one bracket's a little low. I'll fix that later, not a big deal. And for those inside screws, we are going to need a right angle drill attachment, which I got around here somewhere. No. 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 Come on. Ah, there it is. So we've got a Harbor Freight 90-degree angle impact rated drill thing. Basically it takes you know, screw bits and works out good for getting in under the tight clearance areas. Started to get all wonky and it didn't want to go in straight. Alright, so there's one bracket that looked like it was way off. It now looks marginally better. So I think we're just going to throw some screws into it and send it. Yeah. There is a little bit of give in the MDF. So it just kind of took up the slack a little. other thing, I don't know if you noticed, I relocated the string lights. I just moved them into the center and then zip tied them up to the strut. Reason being is once I put the threaded rod in for these panels here, for these yard segments, the string lights were going to get trapped behind it, and then I'd have to do all kinds of, you know, nonsense, threading the needle, etc., in order to get them out of there and into the center where they should have been anyway. So I just kind of proactively moved them. For once I used my head. It's rare, but it happens. So the string lights are now in the center. It actually did improve the lighting in here quite a bit. It's noticeable for me anyway. All these areas where it's now shaded, eventually I'm going to do some, you know, like under cabinet lighting. Like, you know, they make these LED lights that go under kitchen cabinets and stuff like that. I'm going to do something similar to that. I don't know if I'll use the actual kitchen cabinet lighting product or if I'll just kind of like jerry rig my own, you know, LED solution, you know, low voltage wise. We'll figure it out, but there will be lighting, don't worry. And then these other spots where there are no brackets, I'll just go to Lowe's and buy some and just add them. There. So now at least the wall side is secure. Now it's time to figure out where the threaded rod is going to go. And for that we need our friend, the step stool. So I already have the captive nuts in the strut. Pretty sure that's what they're called. And basically we need to figure out where our holes need to be. Maybe we'll kind of cheat and use a tape measure of some sort if I can find one. Had one here earlier. There it is. And I would need a marking apparatus too. Found one of them. See, this is why I have 4 of everything. So that, you know, when it's time to find something, chances are you're gonna find it. Alright, so this is at 25 1/4. It's a little further out than what it should be, but the side of the container ain't exactly plumb. I don't know if you can notice, but oh, and the other reason that's why there's some brackets missing here is because somebody ran the forklift along the side of the container and dinged it up pretty bad. I don't really have an easy way to like fix that without like welding studs into it and then using like a come along to, you know, like pull the dent inward. I'm not really getting into body work for a shipping container. That ain't my thing. So I think what we'll do is we'll just get the shelf brackets in there as best we can, and then if we have to even just send the self tapper through a different spot than the pre-drilled hole, you know, just to get it on a flat, good area, that's what we'll do. So we'll figure it out. That's what we're here for, right? 23 1/2, which is odd because the entire shelf is supposed to be 23 1/2, and that's what it is actually. But 23 1/2 actually puts us right there. So the thing we got to be aware of is there needs to be enough room between where the threaded rod comes down and where the trolley passes, so that the threaded rod doesn't interfere with the trolley when it's running back and forth. And also eventually the suspended platform, the work platform that I'm going to build at some point, so that especially when it's time to do the third shelf where the mountain stuff is, that platform is going to come in handy for that, because then you can just either sit or lay in it and do all your work up there and not have to like you know, lean way over with a ladder. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, so 23.5 definitely. And we're going to line that up with the center of the rib where the strut is. And 23.5 right there. So that's pretty close. Actually, let me measure this way just to double check. 18 on the dot. Oh, I'm off by 1/4 of an inch. Not that it would really matter, but you know, if someday I'm over there looking this way and I see that angle in the threaded rod, I'll be like, ugh. So we want to try to avoid that. All right, and then of course, I gotta take the barcode sticker off. Get our drill out and ready. Okay. And we're going to actually come up from below. Into the captive nut. Got a little bit of a burr on there from when I cut it with the mini angle grinder with a cutting wheel. Alright, so now we throw our fender washer on there. And a nut if I can get the thread on. Oh, there we go, almost. There we go. There. That looks pretty good. So now I just got to do one more down there, and then we can relax the winch and move on to the next panel. We are at 35, off by an 1/8. Not a big deal, but so I'm going to try and like deburr these now before I get it in place. Okay, so I'm going to let some tension off of this. Stupid safety thing got jammed up there. Alright, so let's get our strap recovered. Actually, I got another strap preloaded on the other panel. Alright, are you guys still in a good spot, or do we need to move yet? Let's see. See, I don't want to have my back to you, so I'm gonna kind of set you right here, I think. And I got to get around behind to look at it. And that should be good, I think. All right. So we got our 2 more washers and 2 more nuts exactly. Actually, let's grab an extra 2 nuts just in case. I don't want to lose your nuts. Oh, those poor little cars, they got beat up. Oh well. So you notice how the trolley clears the threaded rod pretty good. In fact, it looks like I might be able to move this threaded rod a little bit outward. I'll think about that later. Of course, you're going to get stuck right there. I mean, why not? Alright, so get our strap ready. That was different. Did I lose power? Yeah, this almost came right out. There. Okay. All right, off we go. I'm going to get my impact ready and my little tub of screws ready so that we don't have the same fiasco we did earlier. And we're going to get our cables rerouted on the right side of history. And onward and upward. So, if I remember correctly, the way I did this last time, enough. did last time was kind of try to get the edge, the outside edge, lined up as best as possible. I think that's what we're going to try and do here as well. Although I kind of want to get it further in at the end there, because it is kind of starting to want to walk this way. When I say the whole, I mean the whole yard, you know, from one end to the other. I don't want it to like end up hanging off the side too badly. So gotta kind of find the sweet spot here. Do I need to let this down more? Yeah. That was it. All right. So now the extreme balancing act again. There. Because of the bow and the wall, this ain't exactly sitting flush against the steel. I think we just kind of got to figure it out as we go. Yeah, I think that's it there. I'm just going to have to switch to the 90-degree adapter. Because we're a little closer to the edge than what it appears, so I didn't want to come in at an angle trying to get that 6-inch extension to fit. Kind of punch through the side. That would be less than ideal. Well, I think that's the sprout going down to the roadside stand to top off the egg supply. Because that's the alert we get when the door opens down there. And I did hear her say hello when she walked by earlier. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I certainly did. Alright, so these two brackets over here, because actually I think, you know what, I'm just going to undo these screws and try to get them to line up better. Because we're off a little, wow, there's quite a gap there now. Holy moly. Same hole. Well, you know, if there's a gap, so be it. Whatever. I mean, it's just the yard. It's not like it's going to make a difference. I'll put some steel mending plates across there to, you know, keep everything stable. But what I'm most concerned with here is just getting the edges lined up so that when I put the trim on, it looks correct. Or correct enough. That should be alright. So now on the back side, those holes aren't even close. Because like I said, the wall of the container ain't plumb. So I'm going to drill these self-drilling screws right through the bracket and just make a new hole. I've done that a few times now. It works okay. There's one. Two more, and then I got a feeling this sprout's going to knock on the door here shortly. Come on, fingies. Alright, now we just need to do the threaded rod. And we're golden. What do I do with the drill? Bet you the drill's still up there. And I bet you, yep. Where? Right here. Good thing that didn't break. Okay. 23 and a half. Yeah, that should clear. Marker, come back. Exact. So basically when I take that back measurement, I'm just trying to get as close to the wall as possible with the tape measure to eyeball it on the center of the corrugation, or the rib as I call it, and then you know, just get that measurement and then transpose it up front here. So that's how I know that, oh, I'm off like 1/4 of an inch to that hole. Okay, there's that one. One more to go, and then we can call it a night. But don't worry, I'm going to get you up on the ladder here, and you can get a bird's eye view of what's going on. I'm not cruel. we go. 17 and a quarter. Oh God, quiet, here she comes.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh, you're filming?
It's okay, come on in. Enjoy the party.
Oh, it's a party?
Sure, now that you showed up.
Where's the party? What are you doing?
Well, we are putting in all the shelving for the yard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, with the crane?
Yep, I got the crane going.
Is it working good?
Yeah, so far. I got that one and this one now.
Well, that's good.
So I was telling everybody about all the stuff we've been doing for PTO.
Yeah.
And all the projects we've been working on.
Yeah. Where's the camera?
All our friends are over here.
Hi.
They're all down. They're all up there. So, yeah. Tomorrow we're actually going to be taking the excavator down to Sproutville, the real Sproutville.
Not the HO side.
Yeah, not the
HO scale.
HO scale dream community. To do some gardening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we have a grapevine and another vine that have taken over the entire yard, and I'm just going to put the mower on the excavator and just annihilate all of it. And then we've got to move the diamond mine.
Mm-hmm. I got a diamond mine.
Yeah, the Sprout has her own diamond mine. So the quick story behind that is there were two local diamond mines in the area out by Middleville, right? So as you leave Herkimer, New York on, is it 28? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 28 toward Middleville, there's two diamond mines. So the geology there is there's just naturally occurring diamonds. They're not like...
They're not real diamonds, they're quartz crystals.
Yeah, they're quartz, they're double terminated quartz crystals.
That's why they're called
kind of rare, you know.
Because they're a quartz crystal with double termination.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, that's why they're called Herkimer diamonds. They're not actual diamonds, but that's why.
So at any rate, back in the day, she was dragging me to the diamond mine very often. And I got thinking, I said, you know what? I could take my dump truck down there and just have them load a whole bunch of the rock into the dump truck. And I brought the load of rock to her place and dumped it. And then put a little toy plastic dump truck with a bow on it. It was a Christmas present. So she got a whole diamond mine for Christmas. Well,
now it's a forest.
Now there is a forest. There is a high value forest on top
10 years later.
On top of the diamond mine. And we're going to try and recover that and recover the investment and transport it up here and dump it so that, you know, she can dig diamonds again. And there may actually be a section on the layout somewhere where there's going to be a mining operation with these diamonds.
Yeah.
Because basically the rock, you know, it's kind of like a limestone rock, and it's got pockets of diamonds all throughout it. And, you know, like sometimes you smash into a rock with a hammer and it splits open, and there's like a cavity full of like thousands of these little crystals, and they just spill out like sand. So I'm hoping that we can find one of them and kind of, you know, piece it into the layout as like an actual mine. And I think that would be pretty cool.
We've got some.
And you make jewelry with them, right?
We've got some, yeah, but I'm going to start making my jewelry again. That's been a long time.
Yeah. You're going to sell that down at the roadside shop.
Hopefully try to make my jewelry with it again.
So there's our little segue on the diamond mine. So let me relax this. Get that out of there. And get you guys the bird's eye view here shortly. All right.
Is this as far as this one's going?
No.
It's going all the way to that.
Well, I don't know yet exactly.
Well, it's gonna
so,
hit it if it does.
well, yeah. So the iron ore mine is in the way, and we can't exactly eminent domain that bad boy. So we're gonna have to do some figuring, some engineering here to get around the iron ore mine in a way that looks believable. Now we can just go around it, I think. That's the plan anyway. All right, so you can see way down there is the leaders. So that track is going to come all the way down here. And then we got to figure out what we're going to do if we're going to start curving that way and have our next line of switches here. Or if we split around that, which I doubt we're going to do that. I kind of want to just get right up against the side there. So we'll probably start, the next piece I make will start, curving or angling over to get behind the diamond line in a hurry. And then down along the wall. And then I still don't know how we're going to make the curve around the factories here. I don't want to cover the factories completely, but I still want the opportunity to do some pretty cool scenery back there. Because I do have a wood trestle bridge that has yet to be built. That if we can get it up high in front and center, it looks spectacular. So I kind of want to put that up in there and then have it curve around, and then kind of do the same thing with like this, 2 foot wide shelf or whatever it's going to end up being. It's probably, it'll be the same footprint as this guy here. So it's actually just going to be completely identical to this, just, like this high. So there you have it. Coming up on 1 hour exactly of me and my nonsense.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
It's been an hour.
Yeah.
I've been doing eggs.
Yeah, you've been washing eggs?
I've been washing eggs. Now I gotta go Smuggy the Muggy. Actually, I gotta do waters. And
what the hell does that mean?
Smuggy the Muggy. I gotta Huggy Margie.
Oh, you mean the cat?
Yeah, the cat.
You're gonna go play with the kitty.
I'm gonna go play with the kitty after I do waters.
The feline cat.
Yes.
Okay.
Good kitty.
So there you have it. There's
1 hour.
Yeah, we have to have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. Enough of me rambling. The yard. Hope you enjoyed phase 1 of yard construction. Next is I'm going to try to find the correct size chuck to go into the Dremel tool, so that when I'm drilling the holes to nail the track down directly into the MDF, I'm not killing my fingers and palm with a pin vise drill. So stay tuned. That's going to be the next steps, is laying in the track. Not super exciting, but maybe somebody will get something out of it. So what do you think, Sprout?
Looks good.
Yeah? You want to take a ride in the winch?
No, not yet.
You want to be a winch wench?
No, not yet. I need some time. I need some time to see how the winch works.
You probably need a climbing harness too. I can get one of them out of the bin.
No, I'm not going at that.
Alright. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, and subscribe. And TechBilly83 coming to you from the train room. And stay tuned for some more content. Thanks, everybody. Bye.